Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headline. OQ announces readiness of the 221-kilometer gas pipeline supply from Naheda Sayh to Special Economic Zone in Duqm. And on the eve of his visit to Iran, the UN Security Council facilitator of the nuclear deal calls all parties of the deal to commit and conduct dialogue to address the continuous issues. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. At a total cost of approximately 98 million Omani riyals, the OQ Group announced the readiness of the gas supply project from Sayh Naheda to the Duqm Special Economic Zone. It aims to meet the current and future needs of the gas supply for the region's project. The project facilitates include the Duqm gas supply station and ready pipelines for future projects in the region, measuring 32 inches and 18 inches, with full automation control systems that include the station, control room, pipeline facilities, and metering stations. The project consists of an administrative building with modern facilities, offices, meeting rooms, and workshops that are fully connected to the central control room in the Governorate of Muscat. The maximum capacity of the new pipeline reached 25 million cubic meters of daily gas, while the capacity of the gas supply station in Duqm reached 25 million cubic meters every day, divided on 4 containers with a capacity of 5 million cubic meters each, with a 25% of capacity for flexible operation, which allows adaptation to the needs of the customers. The 2021 Economic Freedom Index of Heritage Foundation said that the Sultanate's economic freedom score is 64.6, making its economy the 71st freest in the 2021 index compared to last year, where it was ranked the 76th. The Sultanate ranked the 7th among 14 countries in the Middle East and North Africa region, and its overall score is above the regional and world averages. The Sultanate progress came due to the monetary freedom as its economy classified with the free economies that work on diversification. Singapore topped the index, followed by Australia, New Zealand, Switzerland, and Ireland. Oman Development Bank approved over 35,000 development loans in education, health, tourism, and other sectors over the past 5 years. The value of approved loans exceeded 303 million Omani riyals. Oman Development Bank, through its expanding facilities, has managed to support Omani products in becoming more competitive and cost-effective, as the national exports have increased while the imports in the country has decreased, bringing more foreign capitals and money into the country. Oman Development Bank also minimizes the burden on the government and public institutions by helping establishing more private companies in various sectors. The bank helps maintaining the commercial activities of local companies, especially in handicrafts, fisheries, and education, and keeping them in the local and regional markets. Oman Development Bank aims to expand its range of services and pools of clients in the future to support small and medium enterprises and support Omanis to start up their own businesses. The volume of credits in commercial banks in Oman during the fourth quarter of last year reached around 22 billion and 343 million Omani riyals, which is an increase by 2.2%. The Central Bank of Oman stated the private loan sectors comprises 33% of the overall bank credits, with a value of 8 billion 511 million Omani riyals, while credits for other economic activities reached around 786 million Omani riyals, which consists only 3.5% of the overall credits in commercial banks. Still to come in on News Bulletin. The Daba Souk for local product is launched after its restoration in the Governorate of Musandam. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The novel coronavirus has killed more than 2.58 million people since the outbreak emerged in December 2019. At least 116 million cases of coronavirus have been registered. Yesterday, 10,685 new deaths and 450,657 new cases were recorded worldwide. The United States remains the worst affected country with 522,879 deaths. Other hardest hit countries are Brazil with 262,770 deaths, Mexico 189,578, India 157,656, and the United Kingdom 124,261 deaths. Europe overall has 871,426 deaths. Latin America and the Caribbean is 693,735, Asia 259,009, the Middle East 105,582, and Africa 105,268 deaths. Ireland's Foreign Minister Simon is to meet Iranian President Hassan Rouhani in Tehran tomorrow in his role as a UN Security Council facilitator of the nuclear deal agreed in 2015 between Iran and major world powers. Iran has so far refused to take part in a meeting brokered by the European Union between world powers and the United States on reviving its 2015 nuclear deal. But European sources this week said that Tehran had given positive signs about opening informal talks after European powers scrapped plans to criticize Tehran at the UN nuclear watchdog. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif, who is also due to meet Khamenei during the trip, said Iran would soon present a constructive plan of action. European Union member Ireland in January took up its seat as one of the 15 members of the United Nations Security Council, and the country has been appointed a facilitator of the 2015 deal for the Security Council. Washington and Brussels hailed an opportunity to restore trade ties as U.S. President Joe Biden and EU leader Ursula von der Leyen yesterday suspended tit-for-tat trade tariffs in a long-standing aircraft dispute. The truce in 16 years-old transatlantic dispute over subsidies for the rival plane makers Boeing and Airbus represents a significant ratcheting back of the aggressive trade policies pursued by the former U.S. President Donald Trump. Following a phone call yesterday, Biden and von der Leyen announced a 4-month suspension of billions of dollars in import tariffs, in what the White House said was an opportunity to repair and revitalize the U.S.-EU partnership. Oil prices closed yesterday at their highest levels in nearly 2 years, after producers agreed to increase supply from April by a smaller amount than expected. A barrel of the North Sea Brent crude for delivery in May rose by 3.9% in London to reach $69.36, its highest closing price since April 2019. In New York, the barrel price of West Texas Intermediate for April delivery climbed 3.5% to $66.09, its highest closing level in 22 months. The decision Thursday by OPEC and its allies to raise the production only modestly was a show of remarkable restraint. The speed that prices rose since the doom of days of negative levels has been unprecedented. To promote efficient and productive irrigation as well as the protection and sustainable management of scarce and fragile natural resources of the native trees and plants, well-designed water boxes have been utilized to achieve this goal. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubai.
Young native planted trees with a modern irrigation system. The modern irrigation system using water boxes is helping achieving efficiency through using a designed system of drip irrigation that leads to substantial water saving for the young planted native trees in Oman, after which they remain well sustained. These water boxes, of which are refilled every 6 weeks with about 16 liters of water, that's approximately 10 liters per month for each box, during which the trees focuses on growing a deep and strong tap root to access more water deeper in the ground naturally. Many different native trees and other plants such as the neem tree, the bodhi tree, the moringa tree, the miracle tree and many other useful plants which requires very little water are the amaranth and the aloe vera, including albizia. Here in Kantab, the neem tree on the beach was planted with the water box in April 2017 and the water box was removed in November of that same year. Since then, the tree grows independently and uses the water below the village and seeping from the beach, such as the few other remaining neem trees here. The water boxes used for this small spin of activity are part of the CIRC project, the Social and Environmental Reforestation Cooperation, which is managed by Qualis.
This water box helps to grow the tree in a natural environment with a minimum amount of water. We save about 95% of water compared to normal irrigation practices in plantation. And these trees then become independent. So when we remove the water box, anytime between 12 to 24 months after planting, after that, the tree is independent, like any tree out there in nature.
In this project, we work also with the local communities, so we call it Taun, because we are doing it together in order to support the local community so that we have a possibility of improving the land and also restoring the ecosystem.
Country like Oman need more technologies that can saving water. So water box, it's a good solution that can save a lot of water, and we can plant a lot of land by using water box because it is smart for a plant, and we can not use any type of the irrigation.
This project promote efficient and productive irrigation as well as the protection and sustainable management of scarce and fragile natural resources of these native tree and plants in Oman. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
The local community in the wilaya of Daba restored the historic Daba Souk that offers a variety of local products such as farm produce, frankincense, and handicrafts. His Excellency, the State Minister and the Governor of Musandam has endorsed this community effort and provided them with the needed support. The Daba Traditional Souk offers local farmers a place to sell their harvest to the local community. This comes in support to small and medium enterprises and improve commercial activities in the area. The souk is open for businesses on Fridays, and there are plans to make it a permanent souk that will be open on all days. To help more locals to engage in the market, the government offers them the place without any charges or the need to produce a license. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. OQ announces readiness of the 221-kilometer gas pipeline supply from Nahida Seh to Special Economic Zone in Duqm. And on the eve of his visit to Iran, the UN Security Council facilitator of the nuclear deal calls all parties of the deal to commit and conduct dialogue to address the continuous issues. And with the end of tonight's news bulletin, we would like to remind you to keep following the precautionary measures of wearing face masks, washing hands, and keeping physical distance from each other. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching. Have a good night and stay safe.